Hello, welcome to my basement sewing space. So over the past month, over the course of I think 5 weeks, I spent working on a Stillsuit, and I started working on the Stillsuit before any patterns were released, so I had to make my own patterns, and I have been asked by a couple of people through the Instagram to break it down and, you know, tell you how I did it and how I did it differently than other people, because I did mine a little differently for comfort reasons and all of that stuff. So we'll start from, I think we'll go armor bits first, and then we'll go into the soft bits. So we'll start with the armor bit. So this is my little torso armor. It goes down to about end of rib cage, is basically just the rib cage armor. And so let me tell you sort of the little pieces. So everything here is like a singular piece, right? This is a flat piece that goes underneath this piece. It's all about weaving. This is in the middle. These are two separate pieces, and it's all done in 2mm foam. You can see the hot glue on the inside. It's done in hot glue and contact cement, and then there's on pieces and parts where I sweat more, there are protective little spandex pieces to protect myself from, you know, getting water and moisture inside this. It closes in Velcro. Pretty simple. This is a dowel. These are foam dowels. I tried with tubing and it didn't work. My nose tube thing is this is leather cord, and then this is foam clay. It's all painted in very simple acrylic paints, and then finished in a matte finish. Yeah, all the round things are foam dowels, and the patterns were pretty much, I don't really know how to explain the patterns because I just kept doing it over and over and over again until somehow something clicked. But yeah, it's just looking at a reference image, taking that, translating it to a form of myself. I made a duct tape mannequin. It's not the best thing you'll ever see, but this is what I used to pattern it. It doesn't really fit me, so I had to remake it a couple of times and take it in, but that's okay. Yeah, it's pretty simple, easy to wear. Industrial strength Velcro just for the sake of it, and then these little tiny pieces, these are foam dowels, these are foam dowels. Yeah, it's all just foam and patterning. All right, next tough bit is the belt. This belt goes approximately around my rib cage. It is also foam. It is done in white foam, and it has started to crack. So when you do this, when you paint it, make sure it doesn't like crack on you. The inside isn't foam dowels, it is cording. So this is a soft bit. This is fabric. It is just cording that I put on the inside and then painted in matte finish, just like everything else, to make it match. These are foam dowels. It finishes in parachute buckles and elastic, and I just sewed the elastic onto the fabric bit. This is attached in both contact cement and hot glue, because I learned that contact cement isn't as strong as I thought it was. So turns out hot glue can sometimes be stronger. This is basically just looking off of a reference image and then just copying it onto different pattern pieces and seeing, again, it's where the layers connect, right? This is all just layered stuff, right? This is going into that, and then this goes on top of that and stacks, and it's kind of thick. So I used a piece of 6mm foam to really like curve that around it. This is a foam dowel that goes over the top, and yeah, these are googly eyes. You can hear it shake. Googly eyes are really great for rivets, I have learned as a first-time foam build. So this is my first foam build, and that's fine. I think it turned out great. The third section is the hip pad. So this is the hip pad to the crotch. The hip pads are foam that I covered in pleather. I didn't cover them, real leather, pleather, and then painted them to look worn and ragged, and the weathering was really important. These are foam dowels on top of EVA foam strips, which are on top of belting. So all of the belt pieces on the back, it's all actually belting strap to make it stronger. The back is also all finished in that same mesh to wick away any moisture and sweat, to protect because I used hot glue on this because I'm dumb, but also because hot glue turned out to be stronger than contact cement. It closes in a parachute buckle again. This back is done in Velcro, which is just the simple tiny back. This is a piece of foam, two pieces of foam glued on top of each other, and then glued a fabric strip on top. This is a belting piece covered in two pieces of foam. This is also the same strategy as the one above. 2 pieces of foam, glued fabric on top of it. This is foam with a belting strap inside of it. This is a buckle I bought on Etsy. This is actual belting, and I did sew the belting together to make sure that it's strong. These are rivets, and then these are just 5 foam dowels, hot glued on the inside of here. Yeah. There's an elastic strap that goes along the crotch that's sewn, because there are soft bits on the inside here and this fabric on the inside here. The elastic strap just makes it more comfortable to wear, and to hold it up on my torso, I also have a piece of Velcro here. All right, let's do soft bits. So I'm gonna start with the mask real quick. So this mask is just leather, real leather and cording. I made this mask so I can wear it as an actual mask for the con because it was required. Eventually I'm gonna 3D print the like actual good respirator mask, but for right now, this has been working just fine. And it looks pretty okay. Yeah, it's cotton twill on the back. It's got cotton twill, and then it has layer outside of faux suede, elastic straps, and then snaps that go all the way around. This was patterned pretty simply just from looking off of a reference image and figuring out where it curves. All right, let's talk about the shirt. So the shirt, this is the top of the bodysuit. It attaches to the bottom by the crotch with snaps. There is a zipper in the back of it. That's just a long zipper. No one sees this, so it just stays there. And then there's all the cording. So this is all where you see the tubing. This is all just cording that I did and I sewed on top of this garment. I just pulled the cord through, made the channels, front as well, same thing. And it looks really good underneath of the thing. Obviously, it doesn't look that good on its own. We have this, which is just another piece of Velcro, and then the sleeve. So this is actually just another thing of foam glued with pleather. These are corded. So these are actually quilted and corded pieces together. So there's quilting first, and then a corded piece is dragged through it. And they're just stitched on the inside of this sleeve cover. This is basically, yeah, I used a simple undersleeve pattern for both of these, and I just did 2 undersleeves. They're attached to the sleeve with heavy-duty thread. This is a piece of foam that is also done with the same thing. I used foam, and I did foam dowels in the inside, and you can turn it to the front or to the back. I keep it to the back for more mobility. There's 2, but I want mobility versus full screen accuracy. This is another piece of cording, so you can see this strategy of just adding cording on top. Yeah. It's pretty simple. It's just a lot of like going around curves and stitching into things, which is really tough for some people. So you just have to really make sure you know what you're doing. I added a collar for comfort in case the collar is getting too high. The collar kind of stays down because it's not really faced or anything. Other side is just the exact same thing. Though I'm not even gonna lie to you. So the pants are done pretty simply. You can see there's a mistake. No one sees this, which is the good part. So these are the sort of crotch pads, the crotch tubes. These are just corded pieces because in reality they don't actually attach to the garment, and they don't go all the way around like I thought in the beginning. So they just go around halfway, and they just kind of attach into here with a sewn, just a little bit of sewing. They just attach into a channel. They attach into a channel at the bottom, and then they stay here. And with my thigh in it, it looks a lot better than with my thigh out of it. There is another thing. We've got, you know, overpants. They're attached by heavy-duty thread. And we have the tubing. So this is actually a foam dowel that I corded into pleather. So this is pleather. This is a foam dowel stitched all around. Same thing with the other one that comes down here. And then we have the tubing piece. So this is called a catch pad. And this catch pad is just pleather, stuffed, and then stitched all around. And then that holds the catch pad in place. This is a knee pad. I actually just stitched EVA foam into the thing. This is just 2 layers of EVA foam hot glued on top of themselves. Yeah, and then in the back, because you can't have costumes without pockets, I sewed kind of crude pockets, but they work and you can't really see them. The snaps are for the over tunic, so over shirt, so it doesn't like pop up while I'm wearing everything. And yeah, so that just is that. It again looks better when there's actually a person in it. But yeah, so that's that. So for For the soft bits on the boot covers, we just have two boot covers. We have one in a very light faux suede that I got in Philadelphia, and we have one in the regular color faux suede, just weathered to hell. Um, and they just close and Velcro in the back on a pair of boots that I thrifted from Goodwill that have a little bit of a heel so that I am taller because I like to be taller in costume. But yeah, they're very simple. One is just spiked a little bit. And I might redo these. The gloves. So the gloves are just from, I bought these at Walmart, and then because leather gloves are hard to find. So I just bought a pair at Walmart. I used googly eyes, you can hear it. This is just a piece, again, like I said, it is a catch pad, and it just legitimately is stitched on top. It's stuffed, it's pleather. Googly eyes, pieces of foam. These are all super glued on. This is hand stitched on. Gloves are very difficult. So when I do gloves and when I work with them, I really try to make sure that it's like on there instead of just actually trying to make it look super good, because gloves are difficult. The gloves also have a second little aspect to them. So this is just a little wristlet that goes on and covers the glove. This is just literally a long piece of fabric, and there's an elastic bit. And the elastic bit just does this. The catch pad, same thing that I always do. Stuffing, pull them in, and it's just kind of simple. And you just stitch all around. The hardest part is getting all around these curves. That's hard. And because I chose to do Paul Atreides versus a regular Stillsuit, I also had to make his little coat. And I'm probably going to redo this once I have more. I didn't buy enough gauze, so I have like a quarter of what he has on his garments. But I will go through it. So we have a hood made of gauze. It's pretty generic. I don't think I finished any of these seams because I was very lazy. But yeah, it's a hood. It's hemmed. We have on the outside, this is a Journey in Patterning. Nothing is hemmed, which I like, because it just makes it look more rugged. There's a giant armpit hole. There is on this there's a lot of pin tuck. So this is just pin tucked at the top. There's a yoke. It's called a yoke. So I'm going to call it, and then this is where the shoulders exist. So here are the shoulders. And then this just goes down. This is a little scarf thing I sewed up in front, pleated it on that side, and then it just goes across the top. And then the rest is just done like a regular vest, which I will eventually unpick the gauze parts, remake them, and so that I've got an actual vest. And with that, I believe the Stillsuit is fully done. It's just a lot of parts, a lot of layers. If you're planning on building a Stillsuit, I say try and really understand what you're looking at versus, what you're not looking at, right? Like, are you looking at, 4 layers, or am I misinterpreting this one? And yeah, it's a journey in patterning. It's really a journey in just understanding layers. So good luck if you are building a Stillsuit. They're fun to build, and eventually I might redo mine in rubber because that's what they used in the actual movie. And I'm a slut for screen accuracy, and I really enjoy really good screen accuracy stuff. So maybe in the future, but for right now, this works out just fine. EVA foam is your best friend.